feel bad. So all we have to do now is just wait until we are going to take the call tomorrow. It's now 8 p.m. at night. Sometimes you have to stay up a little late in order to close those deals. Wait, let me get some more lighting up. 1 second. And I usually do that inside of something like Notion. It doesn't really matter. We can also do it inside of a Docs. Call it meeting June 8th. And I usually just write down some questions that I want to ask them on the meeting. If you have watched some of my previous free courses, I like to use the doctor approach, is what I call it. When someone comes into a doctor appointment, the doctor doesn't just give you a random pill and says, take this. The first thing the doctor does is ask you, okay, how are you feeling? What's wrong? Where does it hurt? Right? The doctor is doing what is called a diagnose to try and find your issue. And we want to do the same thing. A big misconception that beginners make when they hop on calls is that they talk for the majority of the meeting. You actually don't want to do that. Instead, you want to ask good questions and let them talk and let them say what they actually need in order to be able to find, okay, does it even make sense to help them out? But the entire idea and the entire name of the game is to then ask good questions. So that's what we're doing now. We're writing down some good questions. First thing I'll ask them is, I just want to get an update on how it is going, how much revenue they are doing, and also what cities are they targeting. And I also want to know if they still run ads, because that's pretty important. It's a good sign if they're still running ads, because that means we can send fresh leads directly to our voice agents. Still run ads. So I'm going to write down like this. I'm going to write point 1, and then I'm going to write like these sub points right here. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Second thing would be, how are they currently closing them? Is it through manual texting? Still? Do they call them at all? Do they call them multiple times? You can see now I'm starting to ask questions that kind of positions our voice agents. Like if they say, well, we don't really call them or we don't call all of them, boom, that's a selling point for our voice agent. Another question is, do they call them multiple times? If they say, no, we only call them once, boom, that's a point for the voice agent. We can then ask, well, why don't you guys call them 5, 10 times? If they don't pick up the phone, they're going to say, well, we don't have the time. Boom, point for our voice agent. So we want to ask good questions that positions that sale. Another thing I want to know is if you guys still have old leads laying around. And we're going to get more into that data in this course, but we can also do reactivation campaigns with our voice agents. So we can both send out text messages to the old leads and also call the old leads and potentially take their old lead database that they're not using anymore and reactivate them and turn them into deals. So we're going to be asking them that as well. After we have asked a bunch of good questions that kind of position that sale, that's when we say, okay, from what I've heard, it would be really interesting to try a voice agent, and I'm going to show them the demo that we have prepared. I'm going to prepare that as well. So we have the 11 Labs app open right here. We're actually going to open it in incognito because then it's faster. No awkward time on the call. That's a quick tip for you to open it in incognito. Also make sure to check that you have enough credits on your account. And then we're going to go to this Jeremy right here. I think this is the one, and the branches. It's the main branch. We're also going to test it. Right before I go on this call, I'm also going to test it to make sure the voice agent works and that they can also hear the voice agent. That's very important too. I'm also going to check actually on this Meet that I can connect. I'm going to connect my phone. I have this simple cheap tripod. I think it's like $20 for my phone, but I like to use that to take the calls. You can of course also just use your laptop, but this usually works pretty well. And I can just place it right on my desk. Then we can join the meeting. I'm going to join this one right here. And I just want to make sure we're going to try and set this one to Albert's microphone. Set this one audio. I'm going to wear earbuds for this as well. And then they might not be able to hear the actual voice agent. So I guess we're just going to use the MacBook Pro speakers. And for the camera, we're also using my iPhone. If you're using Mac, you can actually use your iPhone as the camera. And like, look at this picture right here. It's not too bad. I'm using my main camera right now to record, and this for the camera. Oh, what the fuck? I just realized the call is in an hour and 15 minutes, and not in 15 minutes. Fuck. I need to wait an hour then. But you guys get the point. That's actually a good thing. That gives us more time to prepare. try voice agents, show them demo, be the expert. So I'm gonna explain a bit about like how voice agents are changing and how like they probably looked at voice agents back in the day, how it's different now and how it's much better now as well. We're gonna ask, do you guys think that this would book more appointments? I want them to say that, yeah, I think this would work before we even give an offer. Cool. And what I can do, if you guys want this and all these questions, I can also drop this right below this video as well in the description. So you guys can just go in and change it to whatever industry that you guys are in. I'm going to like create a good bridge into giving the offer. You guys know that I usually charge a lot. These guys know that like usually I don't charge this low price, but for now I want like a 100% yes, a guaranteed yes, which means that I'm probably going to charge around $500 or something low. So I'm going to write, you guys know that I usually charge quite a lot for systems like this. I really want to build this out and also document it for testimonials, etc. And also document online for testimonials. So usually the price would be, let's say $1,500. That's probably usually what I would charge for a full system like this for a client. But if I can use it for testimonials, then we can say, then I'm going to cut the price with 66%, just like 2/3. So it is $500. There we go. So we first get them to say, do you guys think that this would book you guys more appointments? When they say yes to that, because I think they're going to do that, then I'm going to say, cool. You guys know that I usually charge quite a lot for systems like this, but I actually really want to build this out. This sounds like a really exciting project. At the moment, I'm kind of bored. So if I can document, or maybe I don't say that. Maybe I say, but I actually really want to build this out. It's a really exciting project. And I also want to document it online for testimonials. So usually the price would be $1,500, but if I can use this for testimonials and share it online, then I'm going to cut the price by 2/3, so $500. So we can say $500. Sounds like we have the plan of